Hi, I'm Natasha, but you may know me as the Yellow Instagram Gal or the founder of Soul Studio. Not only do I manage my own content strategy for my brand, but I also help my clients manage their content for Instagram. This means I've mastered the art of repurposing, and I'm excited to share my secrets with you today during my LaterCon talk. By the end of this training, you'll have 13 content repurposing ideas ready to be implemented. Woohoo! So you can use amazing content you're already putting the energy and time into to create fresh content that will stop your followers scroll with Instagram posts and videos. Because I've been exactly where you are. Constantly turning the wheels, trying to figure out new content ideas, and then you push publish, you have happy dance, and then you start the relentless cycle over and over again. And that's where repurposing comes in to save the day. So let's start with the basics. What actually constitutes as repurposing? Because trust me, I've seen the good and the really ugly. Repurposing is taking an idea, topics, or key takeaways from one piece of content and giving it life in a new, fresh piece of content. The very wrong ways that I've seen people repurpose content includes using the exact same photo over and over again. Trust me, the filter doesn't make a difference. Stealing someone else's content ideas, which is never cool, or even copying and pasting the same copy into the same caption. Seriously, let's make a pact to avoid these things in our content strategy. But the very right way to repurpose content looks a lot like reworking the copy from each part of Instagram into fresh content, adding a sprinkle of something extra to the content, kind of like the little salt meme, or completely freshening up visuals with new photos, graphics, or other visuals. And when we repurpose the right way with our Instagram content, this strategy will help us save hours on content creation, which we all need in our lives. Also, it helps us make good use of great content we're already creating, so it doesn't go to waste. I mean, only a small percentage of users are seeing our posts after all. And this ensures more people get the opportunity to see your content. And best of all, you'll create a more cohesive strategy by merging your content from each part of Instagram. If you're not already using all 5 parts of Instagram in your content strategy, I could totally see why. Juggling stories and graphics and your IGTV videos. I mean, that's a lot of content to handle, especially for a small or solo team. Not to mention the new addition of Reels, Instagram. That's where you can rely on repurposing to come to your rescue. Of course, your feed is your first impression and the type of content we're probably already creating. Stories are right up there in popularity and importance as micro videos that show the personal parts and behind the scenes of your brand. But then IGTV gives your followers a long form, high value video content, maybe even in a form of series. And we can't forget about lives. They're off the cusp, interactive, and now they can be shared directly to your IGTV channel. And the newest part of Instagram, Reels, which is almost identical to TikTok, so it's the perfect place for quick, snappy, 15-second videos that are entertaining or inspiring. And that's where repurposing content comes in to help you show up on all 5 parts of the platform with ease. So there's 3 parts of your content strategy you want to focus on first before we get into the repurposing ideas. These are going to be your tools, evergreen content, and analytics. So let's start with the basic tools you need to become a pro at repurposed content. So first, having a scheduler is key, and it comes with the repurposing content flow, and that's where later comes in handy. As a social media manager, a content calendar is also a must for me for keeping track of what content I want to repurpose in that cycle. I personally use Airtable, but you could use anything from like a Google Doc to even Asana. And of course, templates make repurposing your visuals super easy. And this also can include presets and filters. Canva, Unfold, Over, those are all really great tools for making visuals quick and easy. So before you start repurposing your content, you need to focus on evergreen content in your current strategy. Evergreen content is the type of content that never goes out of style, so your ideal followers and customers will be engaged and constantly looking for more information around this topic. So let's go over a few examples of this. For a brick and mortar cafe, this could mean your best-selling menu items. For a clothing boutique, this could be how to style some staple pieces in your wardrobe. And for a social media marketer, this could be strategies and tips that continually provide results. So we want to shift our focus to evergreen content because it's perfect for repurposing. It can always be updated to be fresh and relevant with very little effort. Even seasonal content can be evergreen, but only in certain instances and examples. For example, my Black Friday tips for marketing from last year still might be relevant with some repurposing. So the last part of your content strategy is to focus on when you're repurposing your content with analytics. Analytics matter because they'll help guide you on what to repurpose for your Instagram. So first, you want to take a look at your Instagram insights to see what posts receive the most comments, saves, and shares and likes. I love to use Later's Pro Plan to look back every 1 to 3 months to see what worked really well and what can be repurposed for future content. And don't forget to look back at the content you've already repurposed to see how it performed. By using your analytics and your repurposing strategy, your content can actually lead to more engagement and results on Instagram. Now it's time to get into the 10 repurposing ideas for your content strategy. So take out a notepad and get ready to brainstorm around these ideas. Idea number 1 is going to start with an example of how one piece of content can look on all 4 parts of Instagram, so just follow these steps. So first, you're going to go live on Instagram, then you're going to save it once you're done streaming. Then you're going to share it to your IGTV channel, and then you're going to share that IGTV replay to your feed as a preview. Finally, edit that camera roll that you saved and put it on stories to promote your IGTV. Idea number 2 is to use a high-performing static feed post as a carousel. This is a great way to take a caption and make it into a visually appealing slide graphic so followers can consume your content in a completely new way they will not even know you're repurposing. Third idea is to turn a feed post into a story. So use some type of cliffhanger from your feed post content and share it onto stories. Then use that last slide, kind of like a call to action, to share that feed post and drive traffic to it. If you have a website, use pages on your site to create video content. My favorite pages for this repurposing hack is using your navigation bar for about services, frequently asked questions, and anything else along those lines. A blog post is also a perfect example of how you can repurpose website content into engaging IGTV videos. Section your videos using the blog headers, then use that copy in your blog to write a script and outline your video. Lastly, link the blog in the IGTV video description because we get those clickable URLs we don't want to forget about. The 5th idea for repurposing is to use those blog posts as stories. So what you can use, kind of similar to the last idea, is take those headers and copy to build out your storyboards for your graphics. Then end with a call to action to read the full post. You can use graphics, talking videos, boomerangs, or maybe a mixture of all of those ideas. So are you prepping for a big launch or promotion? Don't let your content slow you down. The 6th idea, which I love to use, is repurpose your sales page or even your sales emails into stories content to make showing up during your launch so easy. If you have a podcast or even a guest on a podcast, this 7th tip is for you. So use a 15 to 1 minute long audio or video snippet from your episode as a feed audiogram. These audiograms are an easy way to draw people in and keep them wanting more, and they'll go listen to that episode. I love to add subtitles for my followers that might be hearing impaired or listening with the sound off. Veed is my go-to video editing app for creating subtitles and podcast graphics. It's kind of like Canva for video. Resize the graphics so you can promote the episode on your stories too. A bonus tip for this idea is to use the show notes to speed up the caption writing process. It's like a 2-in-1. Showing up on Instagram stories daily and multiple times throughout the day is key to boosting the algorithm and getting more DMs. But that doesn't mean that you can't repurpose those stories you're already creating into other types of video content. Here are 2 ways that I love to do this that have gotten really great engagement and results. The first thing is to create a carousel post with it, add some text. And the other option is to save all those stories and actually make them into an IGTV video. Just be sure if you're using either of those tips, save the story videos before you add the text, your gist, just to make sure it looks really polished on the other form of video. The last tip is to do a recap of at the end of the month of all of your content on stories. This is a really great way to get traffic to content that you posted that maybe your followers just didn't see. So you can use IGTV videos for this, blogs, new shop arrivals, or even podcast episodes. While all of these ideas I mentioned are a great starting point, Reels are actually the most accessible way to start with repurposing content because, well, they're only 15 seconds long and lend themselves to repurpose content super easily. So if you're wanting to get started on Reels, here are a few ways to streamline your Reels content strategy with these repurposing tips I've shared. So first, repurpose directly from TikTok by saving with a smaller watermark. So what you're gonna do is save your TikTok as a live photo, then go into your camera roll to save that live photo as a video. So the watermark will be just smaller and in the corner. Another great option is with frequently asked questions on your posts or question stickers, use Reels to answer each question. This is kind of similar to how you reply to a comment with a video on TikTok. Another tip I love is creating excitement around an IGTV video by sharing a 15-second teaser for the upcoming video with the time and date in your Reels caption. Another option is go through your content archives to find captions, video clips, and even stories that can be given new life in Reels content. A few things to consider when repurposing for Reels is making sure any text or screen shares or elements that you're adding to your Reels are in the center of your screen if you're sharing it to your feed. So around the 4:5 portrait ratio is what you want to stay in between. You can film clips in the app and upload video clips. So get really creative with this. You don't necessarily have to use an outside editing app, but this kind of gives you the freedom to do so. So as you can see, the options are truly endless when it comes to the content you can repurpose for your Instagram page. With all of the examples, you'll see how the skeleton of the content you're repurposing is very consistent. But after it gets transformed into a new type of visual content or copy, it takes on a whole new life, which means your followers won't even notice you're repurposing if you do it strategically and follow all the tips and ideas that I've already shared. Thank you so much for tuning into my LaterCon training. I'd love to see how you're repurposing content on Instagram or some of your favorite key takeaways from this talk. So be sure to come say hi over at Soul Studio Marketing on Instagram. I cannot wait to see how you work smarter and not harder with your new Instagram repurposing strategy.